One. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the writing class. Yes, it's not the Anti-Thought Ladies podcast or the Ladies Tell podcast, which we have been having so much fun interviewing for. Let me just tell you, yesterday, we had this interview with like the chief of content for like All Black TV and WeTV. Oh my goodness, so you were thinking, oh, this is going to be such a stuffy interview. That dude was so funny. I laughed the entire time. I think we spent a good 10 minutes just talking about hot dogs and what or what not to put on a hot dog. I'm sorry. This is the most boring rant I have ever come up with. Normally I'm like, my hair is too flat. I would say what I said when on that one interview with with the actual celebrity. So in case you don't know this, we interviewed one of the actors on Bridgerton. And I said the most embarrassing thing I have ever said on air.
Oh, do tell.
So you got to go back and watch that Bailey Patrick for Patrick Bailey interview and find out what I said. It was so embarrassing. So now I'm done with the rambling rant because I feel like my narcissist self is only embarrassing me today. By the way, my hair is gorgeous though. Okay.
You are having a good hair day.
Now I'm done. I'm Alona. Oh my goodness. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm the Anti-Thought Ladies. And the Anti-Thought Ladies wrote books, otherwise known as literary life guides with pop poetry. I love that. Pop poetry. Okay, done. They are. And I thought divorce was bad. And I thought being grown up was easy. If only I were me, a memoir on first, Widows Web, Widows Debt, and Foreign Coffee. Those are 6 books, y'all. You know, this is like where I call the PBS section. You know what happens in the PBS section? I talk about the books. That's one educational thing. And I talk about the sign language. That's 2 educational things. So we have 6 books. And if you want to find the other 11 books, you can go to our website. That's a grand total of 17 books. Wow. You can go to our website at www.antithoughtLadies.com. You know, I got to do it one more time because I'm here by myself and I'm a narcissist. So car salesman style, it's www.antithoughtLadies.com. But you're not here to hear about me. You're here to hear about our wonderful guests. Wonderful guests. Would you like to introduce yourself? That's a cool way to do that. I think I'm going to do it like that from now on. Introduce yourself.
Introduce. Okay, I cannot do quite the rant that you did, but it's a hard act to follow. I'm Lynda Wolters. I am the author of the upcoming release of The Placeholder, a fabulous new book that you just must read. It is fantastic. Love, loss, friendship, booty call. Can I say booty call? I just said booty call. Yeah. So I am the mom of 3 fantastic boys, all raised, so I guess they're not boys, they're men. Sweet little puppy, Max, and a wife to a wonderful man named Jody. But don't tell him I called him Jody. He likes to go by JR because that's way more manly. So anyway, that's a little bit about me.
Oh, I want to be like, I shouldn't say anything, but I'm going to say something.
Oh, dude.
It's me after all. I mean, if your name is Jody and you a dude, but your actions show that you's a dude, don't nobody get.
I know. And I try and tell him that. I mean, I'm like, you're unique. You are, I mean, he's from Europe. So right there, he's just very cool. I know. So I know. That's a boom.
What part of Europe?
He's from the Netherlands.
Oh, he's hot.
He is hot.
Yeah. I have never met anyone from the Netherlands that's not hot. Oh, that's not true. There was that large dude with the spiked hair.
Yeah,
that was a no.
Yeah, that was a no.
Absolutely. And he was mean. I would have let so much go. He was so mean and wearing the tiny muscle shirt. I was so confused by the entire thing. I'm sorry. This is about you.
I don't know. The tangent was fun.
I'm sorry. You were saying the Netherlands.
Oh, and I said the tangent of going off on the Netherlands was fun. So yeah.
I do miss talking to them.
Yeah.
One day. Soon. When I can travel again.
Oh, I know.
Young men from the Netherlands. I'm over the age of 19.
Yes.
I'll be back soon.
Yeah.
2023.
Good.
So how much of your main character did you base on Jody? None of my darn business, right?
Okay. So here's the deal. It's not at all based on my husband. But he does know about all of this. So the book itself is loosely based on myself when I was single and a lot of my other girlfriends and our horror dating stories. And what I did was I took all of those, I meshed them all together. I created a main character with her sidekick, because every woman needs a wing woman, right? And the two of them, oh my gosh, they are like you and Jade. They are just back and forth, back and forth. I mean, they call each other out. They keep each other real. They've got each other's back. And when things get really rough, the best friend decides that the main character needs to have a booty call to keep her from getting a little bit too physical with all the guys she's dating. So in comes Mr. Booty Call, and he, of course, is swoon worthy. And everything's going swimmingly well until he hooks up with another girl, and the main character Sarah is out in the cold, and then things take a really bad turn. And you got to read the book. It's so good. It will make you cry. It will make you cry.
So this is not your debut novel?
It is my debut novel. I have written 2 nonfiction works. The first one is Voices of Cancer, and it is essentially about people who have been diagnosed with cancer and what they really want, what they really need, and that includes from their providers and their caregivers. I mean, none of this rainbow and unicorn crap. I mean, when you have cancer, the crap you're going through. I mean, I personally hold the diagnosis of a terminal blood cancer. And so, I mean, I know exactly what this is all about, and I wrote about it. It turned into a very, very good learning tool. In fact, it was translated into Chinese, and Chinese medical students now have this book so that they can get a good feel as to what cancer patients actually go through and are not maybe telling the rest of the public, because we're also about, just keep on that happy face and, good fight and all that but it's not like that. I mean, it sucks. It's hard, fatigue. I mean, I know you and I off camera made a few comments, and I mean, I nap almost every single day. The fatigue is huge still. And, but we don't say that in public because we're not supposed to, we're all supposed to be happy and positive and fighting and what have you. So I wrote that book, and then I followed it with one called Voices of LGBTQ, which is stories from persons in the community on how they want to be talked with and taken care of and supported, and what drives them crazy and what we can do that are not in the LGBTQ community to make everybody just feel comfortable and get past all of this divisiveness. That book did very well in certain areas, and because it is such a, I don't even understand it, but a contentious, political driven conversation, it's been a hard book. But it is definitely worth the read, especially if someone in your family or a group of friends has come out and you just don't know how to approach them or how to communicate with them. So after writing those 2, I needed a break. So I wrote a fun one called The Placeholder. Totally different, totally fun.
So now The Placeholder, what genre would you put this book in?
I'd love to call it romance, because in my world, romance, girlfriend, does not mean it has to be a happy ever after for the end of time and everything written into just this cute little bow and tied up nicely. This book is probably one of the most romantic books because it's so real. I mean, it's so real. I don't know many people, none of the people that have read it and reviewed it so far have said anything other than I cried, and it was unexpected. And, it changed the way I looked at my relationships. So I call it romance, but I can't promote it as romance because the romance genre says it must have a happy ever after. Well, her happy ever after lasts a few days. And sometimes that's all we get, right?
I will not have this discussion on air. I surely will not. Because Jade is not here to stop me. So yes, no, that's not a discussion I should talk about with romance and the happy ever after and how real I feel it should be. But anyway, how did you change your mind around from writing nonfiction to writing fiction? Like, how hard was it to have to make everything up? Well, you already said you didn't make all of it up, but
I didn't make all of it up. So yeah, and that's the part my husband does know, is that not all of it's made up. But I will not deny nor confirm any of it. It was actually easier to write the fictionalized work than the nonfiction, because the nonfiction, I'm holding people's stories that they trusted me to, honor. And I really had to be picky with my editing team and with what was removed and put in and this kind of thing. And that was the hard part. But with the placeholder, I didn't really care. I mean, it's just a piece of fun. And, I just hope that it hits Netflix one day. Can I say Netflix? It's just a fun piece of work.
It is a good, I've only read the beginning, so I can say so far it's fun. Good. So far, it's quite fun.
Good.
So what was your writing process? Were you a pantser, or did you plan the entire thing out?
I'm kind of a pantser. I even had to look that word up. I'm like, what does that even mean? But then come to find out, that's kind of who I am. In a way, I think I started it, and then I realized that I needed a roadmap. So then I had to go back through, but it wasn't until I had already had it beta read, the first rough draft, and then I had a content editor come through and say, okay, you're kind of all over the board here. We need to get this more going soon. So yeah, I found it a lot easier to write nonfiction because the road is already mapped out for you. With fiction, I mean, I just go off on bunny trails, kind of like when I talk to you. It's like, I'm over here, and now I just, shiny object. Now I'm over here, and so yeah, I'm a pantser.
It's enjoyable to have that kind of freedom. Like wherever you want to go is where it is. It's where the story is.
Yeah.
There's no like, I have to be here because I'm here and then here, and because that's how the story goes.
Right.
Wherever I go is where the story goes.
There you go. Exactly.
I think I was just listening to a podcast where they were saying like they were talking about the difference between writing a script and writing a novel. And one of the things is there was like, with a script you only have a certain amount of time, certain amount of pages, and with a novel like this, and it's very structured with a script. You got to know exactly what's going on in order to make the story work in that amount of pages. But with a novel, your characters will eventually, you start off with, this is what's going to happen. And then your characters go, well, I don't know if you knew, but I now go over here. Yes. And I have a brother. And the brother has depression. And he's considering suicide. So these are the new things that happened to me. Right. And you're like, but that was not in the plan.
Exactly.
But it is now.
Exactly. And you know what? That's kind of what happened to the placeholder. I mean, I thought I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I mean, I chopped people, I brought people in, I, created somebody midway through. And yeah, it was a lot of fun though. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to do it again.
I was just about to ask that. So you guys know we don't do segues here, so you know what I'm about to say. Oh my goodness, I'm about to do a segue. I did all that dancing. I'm gonna stop early because I might forget. Okay. So you said you had so much fun, you might do it again. Segue. Can we look forward to a sequel book, and what do you think you'll write about?
Well, Actually, I don't know about a sequel. I really don't know about a sequel. Although the duotagonist, the second main character, if you will, is the one that everybody falls in love with. So people like the main character, but they really attached to that other character. So there could be something there. No, actually, though, I do have already in editing a middle grade historical fiction. Totally different genre, but I mean, if I can be frank, 6 years ago, I was given a really short life expectancy, and I've already exceeded that. And because of that, I kind of have a different take on life, including how I write. And so when publishers say to me, oh, you need to just write in one genre because then everybody knows what to expect, I say to them, well, then you are not for me, because I don't have all the time in the world. None of us do. We just don't know. So live your life, do it the way you want. Write nonfiction, write fiction, write middle grade, do whatever you want. That's what I'm doing. And I'm enjoying the hell out of my life. And I think that's what everybody needs to do. So I don't know. I mean, I want to write another fiction novel because it was so much fun. So much fun. But I don't know. Right now I'm working on a middle grade historical fiction, which, by the way, dovetails to the Netherlands because my in-laws were children during World War II. So it's their stories. Yeah. They were,
Wow.
yeah, my father-in-law just passed away, so I was able to interview them over the last few years, and even found his brother that was taken and was passed away in a concentration camp. And so, I mean, yeah, I'm all over the board, girl.
No, it's so much fun to write in different genres because different genres develop different skills. And let's be honest,
Yeah.
Writing is homework that we just get to take home every day. Yeah. And if you're going to be a writer, you're always learning and developing new skills. And that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
We all need to do it. You're just doing it a little quicker.
Pumping these things out. It's fun.
Oh my goodness. So where can people find out more information about you? Where can they buy the book Placeholder?
Sure.
Also, what can we expect next from you after the middle grade?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be another fun mommy porn. That my kids call it mommy porn. I mean, I think they're just highly embarrassed. They're 30-year-old young men, and they're just like, oh God, mom wrote something else. So you can find the Placeholder. You can purchase it on, can I say the words? The big stores? Okay. You can go to pre-order at Barnes & Noble, at Amazon. You can go to my website at lyndawolters.com, and that's Lynda with a Y, Wolters with an O. Yeah. And next, I don't know. I'm just going to have to wait and see, but I think it's going to be kind of a fourplex with 4 different personalities and different age groups and going through life, and yeah.
I like that.
I've been thinking. Yeah, I like to set everything in Idaho. That's where I'm from. And so, yeah, everything, like the Placeholder takes place mostly in Boise, Idaho, but you get to travel around even up to my little hometown. I come from a town of 400 people. So in the book, you will travel around and you'll learn little things. And yeah, so it's fun.
I have always wanted to travel around in Idaho. I only ever go through Idaho. Like,
okay.
we'll stop at the lake, like the big lake, the Coulter, whatever lake.
Oh, like Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah, we'll spend like 2 nights there, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, and then we're off.
No. I know, because that's all there is.
No, I keep saying there's got to be more. There's got to be more. There's got to be more.
Well, you know what? Boise is so cool. It is. We are a very red.
I've been to Boise. I mean, definitely. You got it. Once you go to Idaho, you have to go.
You have to go to Boise. I mean, and if you're into football, it's got the blue turf, and I mean, that's kind of a weird thing, but everybody knows the blue turf, for Boise State. And Boise is wonderful. It's a loving, open community, very, very diverse. It's fabulous.
And that's surprising.
It is, because we are as red. We are as red as they get. In fact, my youngest son said to me, Mom, the book colors look like it's political. I'm like, it is so far from political. But he was really concerned about that. He said, Mom, I mean, you might turn people off because of the book colors. And, I overrode him on that. But yeah, we are very diverse in Boise proper. Outside of Boise, there's not any diversity. So just keep that in mind. There isn't. My youngest son him and his partner feel very comfortable being in Boise. When they come, back home, this is where they are, and they just stay here. But other than Boise proper, they'd rather just go back to Fort Lauderdale and live their lives. So, but yes, you will learn about Idaho in the placeholder, and I think that you will come to love it, and you'll want to come see Boise.
And the lake.
And the lake, of course. Yeah.
It is one of the, I don't know, the freshest, I guess, lakes I've ever been in.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. Idaho is fantastic. This whole, yeah. I know.
Idaho is fun. As far as I know, I have not been all around. You have. I have not.
So Idaho is outdoorsy, and I think that's where I look at it as being fantastic. I mean, so in the book, you will go river rafting with Sarah. She's the main character. You'll go river rafting. You'll go horseback riding. You'll go to outdoor concerts. You'll ride your bicycle on the greenbelt. You'll get to do all this kind of fun stuff with Sarah, and that really is what I love about Idaho, and that really is who I am. And I do all that stuff. I love it. Maybe not so much anymore. I don't have the energy that I used to, but I still hold on to it, that's who I am. So.
Oh, Lynda, I want to thank you so much. Can you tell us one more time what that website was, so where they can find out more information about you and read about the placeholder and how very unique this story is?
Absolutely. Go to lindawolters.com, and that's where you can find the placeholder and my other two, Voices of Cancer, Voices of LGBTQ.
I'm Winona, and I always remember to do that at the end. Now, that's a beginning thing. I'm Winona from the End I Thought Ladies. You can find out everything that your ladies are doing at www.endithoughtLadies.com. And while you're there, go down to the middle of the page, no longer at the bottom, but the middle of the page, and see the charities that we proudly support. We ask that you take a little bit of time out and give them a little help. I mean, it's been challenging times for everyone. And we thank you in advance for that. Remember that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona and the Missing Jade. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.